We have a vision for technological implementation here at ATHS SDS Dubai. In everything we do, including our vision for technological implementation, we seek sustainability. We seek to see ourselves as an organisation, as a school, year in, year out, progressing towards seeing this vision fulfilled. We definitely do not want a situation where a vision is simply just a bolt-on, it's just an add-on, where we introduce it and it fizzles out over time. We want to ensure that year in, year out, we are fulfilling this vision for technological implementation. Consequently, on a yearly basis, our directorate, our board of directors, which is a governing body over the school system, will meet and they themselves will evaluate as an organisation involving many schools whether our vision for technological implementation, including other visions, including other policies, whether they are being fulfilled or not, and they will lay down general guidelines for the schools to ensure that we are seeing the vision fulfilled. On a campus level, the leadership, which is the senior leadership team, the administrative staff, the principal, the vice principal, the lead teachers, the digital team, they will gather on a yearly basis and they will review all of the feedback they've received from the year before and ask the question, how far have we progressed towards seeing this vision for technological implementation fulfilled? This involves the setting of strategic goals for the year ahead. How are these strategic goals set? They are set in the form of two documents, a School Improvement Plan, SIP, and a School Self-Assessment Report, SAR, which are going to serve as a gold standard to which we compare as the year goes on whether we are fulfilling those goals or not. From here, we set these goals and communicate them. We diffuse these goals, this vision, these practical goals. How do we diffuse this information? We diffuse it in various different ways, ensuring that all of our key stakeholders all are aware of our vision, they're all bought into the vision, and they all understand the practical steps that are going to be taken that year to move us further forward to ensure that we fulfill our vision for technological implementation. We also want to ensure that we are doing what we say we're going to do. And how do we do that? Well, we perform a cycle of self-evaluation on a yearly basis. This involves self-evaluation from all of our different stakeholders, whether it's feedback from parents, feedback from students, feedback from staff, and we ask them to complete focused surveys which ask key questions which will now allow us to analyse whether we are fulfilling this vision for technological implementation. One key area of self-evaluation that's been extremely useful to us has been our yearly use of inspection visits, where a group of inspectors will visit us from the wider organisation that our school is a part of, and they will objectively weigh our vision and our goals, and they will feed back to us whether we are actually fulfilling this vision for technological implementation, because it's something that as a school we are expressing as our vision. And they will say whether we are fulfilling that vision or not. On a yearly basis, we perform classroom visits and staff evaluations. Our admin staff will give key feedback to our teaching staff, but more than this, they will collect information. We perform action research, sometimes initiated by school leadership, sometimes initiated by teachers on an individual scale. Another key area of feedback has been the peer learning program, the PLP program, where teachers are encouraged to peer observe one another. But more than this, as part of the PLP program, staff are encouraged to target key focused areas in line with our strategic goals for the year, Very often one of those areas is technological implementation in the classroom, and this information is not just fed back to the observed staff, but it's also fed back to the school leadership in that the staff involved complete focus surveys. The person doing the observation will complete a technological self-evaluation tool against the SAMR model, against the IPAC model, which we'll discuss later in our iBook. And this information is fed back and data is collected, and we as a school can analyse this data, and the leadership can form conclusions as to where we are to the extent of technological implementation in the classroom against the SAMR model and IPAC model. And this information is brought together and we can form conclusions on a yearly basis which will allow the next year's worth of decision making to be based upon actual data as to whether we are fulfilling our vision, and we can take next steps in the next academic year to further fulfill this vision for technological implementation.